Awesome. Welcome to our call. We have all sorts of things to talk about tonight, but first let's connect with an oil and ourselves. So look to the nearest oil you have, the one that's calling your name. If you need to hop up and grab it, go right ahead. I was just saying earlier, I got my Copaiba here and I'm going to be rubbing it on and right on my palms. Taking my deep breaths in. And if you'd like to join me, you can put your hand over your heart. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. Don't normally reach for that oil, but yeah, I think my body needs it right now. So, all right. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm really excited. The Kenoi Wellness team is going to be sharing a little bit about convention. And for some of us, we got to be at it live and some of us got to experience it virtually. So we did it virtually and we still had all the same feels and excitement about everything that we learned. And so we're excited to share some of that tonight. I'm going to start us off, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch one of the Terra Talks. And the one that I kept thinking about this week was by Judith Sears. And we had watched it while we were doing the whole virtual thing. And it just kind of stuck in my mind because there was so much information and I knew I had to watch it again. So yesterday I listened and watched one more time. And I picked up even more information. So I thought this is definitely one everyone on our team should be listening to for our own health and wellness. And then as our duty to also spread this knowledge forward. So in just a second, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch Judith Spears talk. I suggest if you don't have a pen or pencil nearby and a notebook or a pad, grab something because you're going to hear a lot of information and ideas that you're going to be wanting to write down. And I see Kanani nodding her head because she saw it live in person and she was stoked about the information as well. So yes, grab your pen and pencil as I get techie here and share my screen.
And I want to just say that Judy is actually one of my friends. We did a mindset coaching workshop together. And I reached out to her and told her how much we loved her talk. And she is willing to do a team call for us next month. We need to plan it at a different day and time, but you're going to just get a little piece here about 10, 12 minutes. And you're going to want to invite everyone you know to come to a private team call that we'll have with Judy that will spend at least an hour diving into even more that she has to share. So super excited that Kate's giving this little sneak peek, because Judy was like, I could talk for hours on this. So if this excites you for next month, definitely look on that for the community calendar and invite everyone, current customers, potential customers, everyone should come and listen. All right.
All right. So her talk is called Supplement Synergy. And we're just going to sit back and enjoy, and I'll make sure maybe in the chat if you can give me a thumbs up or sounds good if the sound's working. All right, here we go.
Please welcome to the stage, Diamond Judith Sears.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be with you today. It looks like a lot of you have gone to dinner, and that's okay. I am here because I'm supposed to speak about anti-aging. So guess what? They asked somebody 100 to do it. That just makes sense, doesn't it? So thank you. So let's see. You know what? This is the second time I've given this talk, and I had to tell them. I have TVs in my house, you guys, that are 13 years old, and I've never turned them on because I don't know how to use the clicker. So this clicker thing, I got really behind on the last time. I'll try to do better this time. So when I was growing up, lest I sound like I came over with Brigham with the pioneers, we didn't have Google and we didn't have social media. So when we wanted to know what it was like to get old and get advice about aging, we asked somebody. And that just made sense to us. And the reason is they had some life experience. Further, I'm not sure that you can get all that much truth anymore on Google and social media. I think it's better to ask your elders some questions every once in a while about what it's like, because they've had some experiences, they've made some mistakes, and they've had some successes. And thirdly, I think that people are pretty aware that they're not making good health choices, but they don't know how to make the right ones. So I'm going to try to make truth really simple for you today. My belief is if it's true, you ought to be able to, it ought to feel right here, and you ought to be able to spit it out and share it with somebody else. And that's mostly our goal, isn't it? To share with others. So you have organs, systems, and processes in the body. We're going to talk about one system called the endocrine system that consists of a couple of organs, a handful of glands. And most of the major health challenges we struggle with nowadays come from that system being out of balance. 10 million people a year die of cancer, twice that of heart disease, 50 million of Alzheimer's, which is nicknamed type 3 diabetes. 500 million of us have diabetes. Less lethal, but pretty important to men. 40% of men over 45 are low on testosterone. I suspect they care more about that than they do about a few wrinkles. 10% of women struggle with infertility and menstrual irregularities. All of these problems and many more, we could make a long list, unfortunately, all stem from the same thing: insulin out of balance, called insulin resistance. It just means how well your body uptakes and uses sugar. So one of the things I recommend to balance yourself is something called intermittent fasting. I've been practicing it for years. It's a great habit. It helps balance blood sugar. It helps balance, get rid of extra fat. And it's just a great program. Well, I was at the bank the other day, and the teller told me that she was just learning to intermittent fast, and she wasn't being very successful. You go about 16 hours without, is that me making that noise? I mean, too close. You go about 16 hours without eating, and she wasn't being very successful. So I asked her if she'd tried doTERRA's fiber. The fiber is the perfect choice because it's only 25 calories. And when you're going to cheat on a fast, you can go up to 50 calories. So it's the perfect choice. It tastes good. It's super easy to stir into water, so she doesn't need a blender at work or anything like that. Further, it's got 6 grams of soluble and 6 grams of insoluble fiber, which means it slows down the uptake of sugar and helps regulate the blood sugar levels. The next habit I suggest you start is protein. Protein shakes in the morning are absolutely fabulous. I call them green smoothies. I like to throw in a handful of greens and some water or some almond milk. Let's just face it. If you have a choice and you're hungry, you're going to grab pretend food, right? If it's on the counter and it's pretzels, chips, cookies, you're going to grab it. So if you start this in the morning, even if you're not going to drink it for several hours, then when you're hungry, it's already there. And you don't have to do any mental work to make it, and you won't grab the not so healthy food on the counter. So any kind of protein of doTERRA's you want to use, they're all whole food. They're all awesome. They all have 23 grams of protein in them. As we age, we need more protein. So feel free to double that if you need to. Then you're going to add a scoop of greens. Oh, I got to go back to protein. Beta glucans. I like vegan protein best because it has beta glucans in it because of the oats. You heard Dr. Hill talk about yesterday beta glucans. I've been teaching for 40 years. I've been seeing clients for 40 years as an iridologist, and I have found that beta glucans do an incredible amount of things, not just improve the immune system. In this particular conversation, though, I want to tell you that they balance blood sugar, they balance regulatory hormones, they balance your metabolism. If you like to lose a little weight, they're a great choice. And they balance any kind of metabolic disorder that's going on. Then throw in some extra greens with a scoop of greens. They taste delicious. And a scoop of MCT oil. I like coconut oil. Without good fats, you get fat. So all the things you've heard about fat being bad for you are not true. You need fat. Fat feeds you, not your fat. Also, it's really has no effect at all on insulin levels. So it's a fabulous choice. Further, I like to think that good fat is part of Isaiah's wise counsel to let your soul delight in fatness. Okay, you are made up of trillions of cells. Every 7 years, those cells turn over. So right this minute, you are in the business of making a new you. You can decide if you're going to be what you're going to be made out of in 7 years, what your food choices are, what your supplement choices are. Some cells turn over daily, some turn over weekly, and some take longer. But in 7 years, there's going to be a new you. And you get to decide if you're going to be wrinkly or have arthritis or joint pain or whatever. You get to do a better job with your food choices. So inside of each of those cells, you can see that there's a mitochondria of the cell. The mitochondria is the energy factory. Some cells have just a few mitochondria, some cells have hundreds in just one cell. When those cells turn over, I'm going to give you just a tiny biology lesson. So right back here above your kidneys, you have what's called the adrenal glands. They're about the size of a walnut, and they manufacture hormones. They balance the blood pressure, they balance blood sugar, they burn fat, they burn protein, they react to stressors in the body, any kind of injury or things like that. And they come, something your high school biology teacher might not have taught you. The mitochondria of the cell comes from only your female side. They're only egg, not egg and sperm. So if your mother was stressed during pregnancy, if she was super sick, if she had a drug or alcohol problem, if she was the main breadwinner, something was going wrong with your mama, you were born tired. Your adrenals were exhausted right from the beginning. The good news is you can repair it. We have tools to do that. When I started doTERRA, I started with only repairing my adrenals. So this is adrenal fat. This is thyroid fat. Doesn't matter where you're packing your heat. Don't care. Start with your adrenals. Your adrenals are the boss of the endocrine system. That's what we're talking about as a system. They're like dominoes. When you get those to straighten up and fly right, everything else will fly right. So I lost 18 pounds from thyroid weight, by the way, but it's because I spent 1 year on just the project of my adrenals. Okay, my favorite tool to repair the adrenals, besides oils, you'll need a handful of oils for that, but you've got apps and books on that, is Mito 2 Max. Mito 2 Max is made with a combination of adaptogenic herbs and amino acids. It's incredible to do what you need it to do. Adaptogenic herbs, some of them are meant to stimulate and some of them are meant to calm. Calm and control the amount of cortisol in your bloodstream. And some people may notice actually that they're tired all day, and they pay $100 for a nap in the middle of the afternoon. And then they come home and they feed the kids and they start the laundry. And then what happens? They get a second wind. Anybody know what I'm talking about? That is your adrenals. That's your cortisol being out of balance. You're making it at the wrong time of day. You should feel the most energy and the best, just like to slay the day at 8 a.m. If that's not happening for you, we've got some things to fix with the adrenal glands, and the adaptogenic herbs will do it. That's what's beautiful about ashwagandha. That's what's in here. It's very calming to the nervous system. It's great for anxiety. It's great for insomnia. I like to take this particular supplement with my Lifelong Vitality Pack. I take one in the morning and then one with my afternoon dose with the LLV. If you notice, or you think already before you even start, that you're extremely adrenally exhausted, then you might find that rather than give you energy and focus from Mito 2 Max, you might get more tired. If that's happening to you, two things. One is it will dissipate in about 2 weeks, so give it some time. But just start taking it at night before you go to bed because it'll help you sleep, okay? Next is Yarrow Palm Cellular Beauty Capsules. I love this product. This product is fabulous for all the obvious reasons. I'm sure you've had lots of lectures today on the skin. What I want to tell you most is 80% of what's happening out here is happening in here. So take care of the inside. Good supplements, good food, hydrating, taking care of inflammatory response will help your skin stay healthy and looking good well into your old age. What I want you to pay most attention to in terms of our blood sugar conversation, though, is notice there's yarrow palm oil, pomegranate oil, and grapeseed oil in here, and all of them balance blood sugar levels. It's a fabulous product. So take 2 first thing in the morning with your LLV dose. Okay, last one is Serenity. Serenity is an incredible product for helping you sleep. When your blood sugar is out of balance, you can be irritable, you can gain weight, you can not be able to sleep very well, you can be anxious, you can be grumpy. There's all these things that happen when our blood sugar is out of balance. So catching up on your sleep is a great choice with Serenity. I also recommend, if you've got a hamster on the wheel like I do, add a couple cup Hyba soft gels, and that'll help you catch up in no time. In closing, I want to say, I was going to have a demonstration or have a volunteer, but we don't have time. So I'm just going to pull out here. I've got in my envelope a $5 and a $10 bill. If you can pick one, which one would you pick? The 10, nobody's dumb out there, right? You'd pick the $10 bill. Anybody would, except for if you knew in the envelope, I have a $100 bill. There are people right now in your lives. You guys, my dad died of Alzheimer's. My aunt just got diagnosed 10 days ago with Alzheimer's. There are people living $5 and $10 lives because they don't know what you know. They want a $100 life, but you got to open your mouth and tell them about it. Thank you so much. Oops.
Hello. Hey guys. One more time for Judy, guys, and everyone else
sorry.
that spoke
I
today.
gotta turn off my.
Thank you so
Sarah
much again
talk
for
here.
joining our second day.
There we go. Oh my gosh. That was so good. So much information about the adrenals, about different tips to help support the adrenals. I mean, for me, I had no idea that our adrenals that came from our mother's side. And so if your mother was stressed, all those things, you were born tired. So I don't know, for me, those are all really interesting. And yes, definitely laughing at her jokes, Auntie. Totally. She's super fun to listen to. So hopefully you learned something. If there's something that stood out to you, throw it in the chat. We can definitely read through those. And then if you got a virtual ticket, you still have access to watch these. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I need to know that protocol she shared with the Mito 2 Max and also the Yarrow Palm, you can rewatch if you need to. But I know, I think Kanan already started using her Mito 2 Max with her intermittent fasting, and it's already been helping. Yeah. Do you want to say anything about that, Kanan?
Yeah, everything she said like made sense for me. Like it just clicked. I felt like after I stopped dancing hula and I didn't really have like this outlet, because hula's always been my outlet, that I think I internalized a lot of stress and just like got really fixated on stuff. And so that led for me like weight gain, and same thing she was talking about, like I wasn't getting as much sleep, like really good restful sleep. I'd wake up about 2 or 3 and my mind would just go, and I'd be rubbing Serenity all over, thinking of Kate, right? Rubbing Serenity all over. But it was almost like, I mean, it worked, it helped, but it was almost like too late. Like you should have been taking it ahead of time. And so I never really thought about adrenals. And I read about it. I love learning about the body systems. Part of the classes we took with dental hygiene, but everything she said like made so much sense. Like it was crazy. And so I came home, started doing what she did. It's hard to do a 16-hour fast. Like I struggle. I get to like 14 hours and then I'm like, oh dear Jesus. But I started doing what she said, and I did notice like the weight gain started coming off, and the fasting got longer, and then of course incorporating the fiber, like she said, just all these things. And I did notice what she said, like if your adrenals are really off and your hormones are out of whack and things, you'll start to feel tired, and that's exactly what's happened. Starting last week, I started feeling like, gosh, like I'm crashing in the afternoon. I'm like, I never felt that. I always had such great energy on my LLV, but I think my body's trying to work through it. So it's just crazy. Like I listen, this is probably like the 4th time I listened to her, and I'm like, everything she's saying, it's like, right. It's like clockwork. So I don't know. I mean, if it speaks to you, I say like, give it a try. It's been pretty amazing.
Thanks, Kanan. And then Cam, you had mentioned something in the chat about, she mentioned taking the Mito 2 Max before bed, but she had only mentioned that if you have adrenal exhaustion and you start to take the Mito 2 Max, if it's making you more tired, then to take it right before bed is what she had recommended. And I see Auntie Sherlyn, I know you have some experience with Mito 2 Max too. So go ahead. Let's hear your
so thoughts. I'm a big proponent of, whatever works, right? And Mito 2 Max for me, when it first came out, I tried it, and you all know that I have manic depression, and man, it just sent me into a spiral when I took it. And that was during the morning. And I thought, wow, I kind of just steer away from it. Then when I started getting, I was also on phytoestrogen at the same time. And so after Yaropam came out, I took away what did I just say? My brain. I took away the phytoestrogen, and I substituted it with the Yaropam, and that really helped. And when we went to this conference, and I've been taking the Mito 2 Max every so often, but only one in the morning. And because I noticed that I tried to take it in the afternoon when I'm starting to feel the crash, and that just kept me up at night. It was just not good. And I woke up the next day and I'm thinking, okay, now I'm just getting these rolling thoughts, right? Can't calm myself down, focus in the morning. But I've tried this whole system now when we came back after listening to Judith talk about this. And today I think I got the right dosage. I took 2 this morning, and I don't feel like I'm racing. I don't feel like I'm tired. And I did have to do that with the intermittent fasting to just force myself to do the 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then take the 2 Mito 2 Max with the LLV. I know it's a lot, but for my body, that's what works. So I think everybody has to just kind of try and see. Don't give up on it, because I feel really good about it. I don't feel like my mind's racing right now, which I would be if I had taken the Mito 2 Max in the afternoon. So I think I'll sleep okay, but I am going to do the Serenity tonight.
Thank you for sharing. You're so right. And I know we say this again and again, we all have to find what works best for our bodies. And I love that each of us in the chat are sharing the different ways that works for them. So hopefully you can get some ideas. Ray shared her regimen, so did Sasha. I love that it came up on your iTovi scan. She's been taking every morning for about 3 months and it's making a huge difference. You gave up coffee. I don't know if I could do that. But yes, can totally feel it, just like our LLV. Love that. So thank you all for sharing. And I want you to, before we transition to the next, just think about somebody in your life that would really benefit from this knowledge. Take a moment, maybe write their name down and share it. You could even watch it with them, share your login if you still have it. Liza didn't hear that. tell them what to watch it together on a Zoom or something. But I think more people need to just be in touch with their bodies and really start that path for wellness. So thank you for listening. I know it was a little bit of a long talk, but it was really, really good. Okay, I'm going to be transitioning to my leaders. They're each going to share about 1 to 2 minutes of a biz takeaway they had from the different Terra Talks and or general sessions. So I'm going to start with Janice. So Janice can share which talk she's going to kind of recap with us and give us all the juicy details.
Hi, everybody. So, I think maybe Kanan or Liza can help me correct this woman's name. I think her name was Christina Vidal. She was the Instagram. Is that correct? Yeah, social media.
Vidal.
So anyway,
Yeah, Christina Vidal.
Vidal. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, she shared how to use social media. She had mentioned that we have these products, this company. Why not share it on this form that we have access to? So she mentioned stuff like what social media has a powerful influence on our daily activities as well. It can be by what we like and dislike and which places we choose to visit. What's your target audience when you're looking for followers, people you. So she mentioned that she spent time looking at the audience of women between ages of like 16 to 64, and she found women from 25 to like 44 years old. I think they spent the most time on social media. So she targeted those folks. She also mentioned there's like 5 members. So I don't know if I can share with you, if I can have access to sharing. I made a little bit of a slide so you guys can see. So, Liza, can you share? Okay, thanks.
There you
Okay,
go.
so let me share this screen. It was like real fast. Like I thought I could talk about it, but you know what? I'm very visual. Okay, let me just find where my thing is. Okay. Can see? Okay, and load. Okay, so the first one is using the EIC method. So EIC meaning bringing education, bringing aspirational, making people want what you have, tracking them, and then C, creative, being different. Use. You guys can screenshot that if you want. Okay, next one. Oh, that's not even. Hello, I haven't done this in a while. So okay, to find preferred way. So there's like you can do posts, you can do stories like on Instagram or on Facebook. It's always show your face when you are posting, or like even part of your body. Like I even notice I get more connected with your hands, or like just something. Like I know she says face, but shy type like me, I would put like part of my eye, or well, at least you can feel like there's human connection to it. Then another way is lives, bringing your new referrals, and then reels. Like we just started learning kind of like, I think Kate's doing really good with that now a little bit. So improving people. I know with I think Kate did a reel when we were at the convention and she said, oh my God, I have 1,000 followers already watching our stuff. I'm like, okay, that's so cool. So yeah, reels are pretty cool if you can get. Okay, 3, be organized. Create a great content. Choose a color palette and stick to it. Check your analytics, best time to post it. What type of content is being shared or saved, majority of your audience from, and then pay attention to the hashtag audience. So those are really, I didn't know that too. Like, oh, okay, yeah, look at the hashtags. Follow those guys, or follow the people that hashtag that. Or be constant, like saying we harvest the seeds we plant, focus on cultivating. So be constant on, sharing your post, doing something daily, like I know we talked about this at the last conference. We talked about doing half your life, half in person, half business. So having to do those and doing it constantly. And then last, be real, honest, and vulnerable. A high level of authenticity can go a long way in building a stronger connection to your audience, which in turn engagement. So again, if you can try, if this is you, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, take a risk, and braver, and your balance and your adaptive plans, and just anyway, that's just a little bit in a nutshell. Thanks.
Thank you, Janice. Definitely reminded me to be more consistent, because I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm all great about posting for a while, and then I get busy and I don't. So that was kind of one of my big takeaways, is just that consistency from that talk. It was really helpful and pushed me to keep doing.
I took it too, because I decided to share about that because I feel like more as well. So that's why I chose to learn more about it and share.
Yay, thanks, Janice. All right, Tani's up next. You are muted, darling, with your new haircut. We'd love to see it.
Oh, there. Can you hear me now? As you can tell, it's all pulled back. It's been a long day. Having technical problems here. Oh, so many good things. I wanted to share a little bit about, I'm just super pumped about the new products. I was listening to the Friday Terra Talks with, is it Tanya Ferguson? And just using these products that were just launched to really maximize our business. I think they just nailed it out of the park with all the new products. So I was just thinking about, just for myself on a consumer level, not even doing the business, but just for like myself, I'm super excited for next month to order more of everything, like, all the dish soap, the dish pods. I mean, I'm loving everything that I tried this week. So I know for myself, I'm pumped to order more things, and then bringing that into the business side of things. I think this is such a great thing for people on LRP and non-LRP people. I think just having these consumable products that people are going to want to order month after month. I know for me, over the years, I've been redirecting my spending with doTERRA and then getting points back, which is awesome if you're on LRP. But there's been certain products that we haven't had. So now that doTERRA has these products, I think these are just amazing for our customers to be reordering and to really kind of maximize and up-level our business with our volume and stuff. And I really feel like we get to kind of have a broad like spectrum of grabbing different people. There's some people that you might introduce the oils to and they're just not into it, or it takes them a little bit longer to get into the oils. I think with these new products, even if people aren't totally into the oils yet or being introduced to them, this is a great way to introduce people to non-toxic natural solutions. And I know for myself, a huge thing, it's always been environmentally friendly products. I go out of my way to only buy products that are environmentally friendly, non-toxic. So here, doTERRA just brought them to us, and I'm just really excited to share with our customers, and to just for people to be, getting these home products. I think for the people who are not on LRP, it's a great way to get our customers on LRP and ordering on that monthly. So, and I think the next couple months we have from convention, we roll right into fall and winter. And I think it's just a great momentum for the upcoming months. We have holiday products, we have BOGOs coming up. And I think this is just a great beginning momentum with all these new products coming out. And then I know it's not really on the business side, but just hearing more about the products and the science behind it, I'm just super impressed that we have these products, and it's exciting to be able to take that and share with people a little bit of the background. I've had a few people, when I post on Instagram, people be like, "Oh, do you really like it?" I'm like, "No, I really do like it." And I'm excited to dive more into sharing what the abode is about and how it was formulated. So I just was really, I'm excited for these new products and how it's just going to really help all of us in our business.
Yay, thank you, Tani. And Tani is very passionate about green cleaning and sustainability. So I knew when that line came out that she would be stoked to have it. And I actually just cleaned my floor with the Abode oil and my Norwex mop today, and my house smelled so amazing afterward. I thought I didn't like the smell at first, but after I cleaned with it today, with my whole floor and my house smelling like that, it was, I had a different feeling. I really like it now. But yes, love all the products so far. Great consumable and reorders, because they made it specifically for a month's worth of use, each of the products. So it's like they are also supporting us as builders there with that amount. And then Liza did mention Tani was on Wellness Wednesday today, all about basil. So if you haven't caught it yet, jump in our group and listen to Tani. She shared before on a call, but it's always good to hear. And I remember we all love that information. And I do believe basil helps with adrenals as well, that we learned about earlier. And then Ray also shared on the cleaning aspect in Natural Home. There's a new series on training.doterra.com called Natural Home that we can share with anyone, customers and non-customers. Thank you for the tip. I'm gonna go check those out. Yes, and Ray's talking about throwing away crappy cleaning stuff. Yes, there's probably still a couple things I need to throw away, but I've come a long way. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to Zaisha. She's gonna share. She had a couple ideas, so let's see what she chose, because there is so much goodness.
Okay, I brought it down to Melissa Christopher's Terra Talk. It was bringing the value to your in-person classes. So we all, we haven't had in-person classes in a while, but we're all jumping back into it. But I mean, with our recent county rules, we can prepare for them. But her thing was, holding classes that people want to attend. You got to remember that people are saying yes to your class and no to going to other things. So bring the value, make it worth it. Your class shouldn't be a Zoom class. If you look back and you say, I could have done this on Zoom, then it wasn't a value-packed class. Value-packed classes, your bottles are open. People are adding to their wish lists. Their wish lists are growing. You have hands-on actionable steps, and then always find the fun. She also said to focus on the few. Not everyone is ready, and that we all have the tools for all the people this season. And then the last thing that she shared was when one of her friends got sick with cancer, what he could have done was Google it. And when we all Google it, we find all the bad and the wrong and everything that you don't want to read. But what he did was Google someone who overcame that. and he actually ended up beating his cancer. But the point of that was, if someone's doing it, it can be done. So if someone's doing it, it can be done. So that's my takeaway from Matera Talk.
Thank you, Zaish. I do remember that that part of his talk, and it was pretty powerful. Sometimes the simplest things will help us just kind of be inspired and also make us realize it can happen, and it will happen once we put it into action and dream big. So thank you so much for sharing that one. And then Ray is going to be our final sharer on Sarah Blakely, the woman behind Spanx. She was amazing.
Ah, shut, Kate. Because I was going to do this. If you can guess who is behind this, then you win a prize. All right.
Can I win a prize?
I tell you, it took 3 people to get me in that when I had to. All right, so I chose Sarah Blakely. I mean, talk about a self-made woman, but she was just so passionate. And when I look over my notes, she had 5 really big ideas. The first is, how do you manage your negative self-talk? She said, never banish self-doubt. That I manage self-doubt. That was like a light bulb for me, because I feel like I live in self-doubt. Like, self-doubt speaks louder than self-confidence for me. And so I always thought, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just like wash it off? And so when she said, don't banish it, but manage it, it shifted my whole thinking. And for the last 2 weeks, I changed some routines that I did so that, and I tell myself, manage your negative self-talk. So if anything pops up in my brain, I have a new protocol that I just kind of cut it off. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, she said, it was about finding your passion, your purpose, your natural strengths, and your skills. And it's the intersection of all 4. So what does that mean? Okay, so passion, number 1, what brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? What makes your heart smile? Your whole body feel like, yeah, that would be your passion. The second, your purpose. Purpose is kind of hard I don't know, to me, it's kind of hard. But when you think about it as, your purpose is something that's bigger than you. So it's bigger than making your commission. It's bigger than sharing and getting people to come to your classes. Your purpose has to be bigger than that. And a great way to pair that with is, how can I serve, right? So how can I serve? My purpose has to be bigger than me, and I'm serving. So that's purpose. The third, your natural strengths. We all have natural strengths. And if we are in our strengths, if we are working in our strengths, that's what energizes us. So when we can find that and utilize it, it'll create more momentum for us. The fourth is then your skills. I mean, let's face it, we got to learn our skills. Listening to those daily mentor calls, practicing the script, doing the work. Those are the skills. It's 80% mindset, but 20% skills. You can't do it without the skills. So that was her number 2 big idea, was you got to find the intersection of your passion, your purpose, what you're good at, your natural strengths, and your and how you can serve, and your skills. Okay. The third big idea, wait, now, let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, wait, see, my notes is all over the place. I gotta look at them sideways. The third big idea is, everything in life is sales, right? When you think about it, you're trying to get your kid to take the vitamins, you gotta sell it to them. You're trying to Like for me, I'm trying to get my dad to drink more water. I got to sell it to him. Everything in life is sales. But what makes the difference in how you do it? And she laid out 3 steps. And these 3 steps are winner because it's straightforward and easy to remember. The first is start with your why. And in your why, you sell the problem you're solving, not the product. So sell the problem you're solving, not your product. The second is when you do that, so you're sharing your why, right? Like, oh, this is my why. I want to help people feel stronger and get rid of pain and da 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 da. And then you find out from your customer what their problem is, and that's what you sell to, not the product. Then you differentiate yourself. How are you different from the next person who can do that? What is your strength that you can bring to them? Okay, that's number 2. The third is why that difference is their best option. So why picking you would be their best option. I thought that was, I want to go back to listen to just that part alone. Okay, the 4th big idea was about clearing your limiting blocks about money. You know, we all, I don't know, maybe not we all, but me, I grew up with major limiting blocks about money, like money was evil. You know, if you're doing something and you're selling stuff for money, then I don't know. I in my head, I thought it was not something respected. So you got to clear those limiting blocks that we were inundated with when we were kids. And what I do to clear that block for myself is I keep telling myself, the more money I make, the more I can contribute. And it's just going to amplify more of who you are. You know, if you want to give to the world and you want to make a difference, you get money, you're going to have more opportunity to do that, right? And then the 5th is reframing failure. So she talked about how she would come home from dinner, and at the dinner table, standard conversation, her father would ask, what did you fail at today? So transforming that the real failure is that you didn't even try. If you're not trying something new, that's the failure. So they would have these conversations at dinner. So reframing what failure means. And then the second part to that question, what did you fail at today? And the second part was, and what happened with this outcome? So you failed at it, and then what happened with it? So it goes to, you don't just fail and wallow in it, but you fail and then you shift. You fail and you learn. So that was her 5 big ideas. Sarah Blakely, thanks.
Thanks, Ray. Could you just hold that up one more time for all of us to see?
I was gonna try it on, but yeah, Kate, you blew it.
Sorry, everybody. I know that would have been the highlight of our call. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that recap. It was very, it brought me back to listening to her, and I realized I missed parts of it because we were talking to people in the session. So I'm going to rewatch that one before it is lost forever, which I will be sad about. And Bernice is asking, is that legal? Don't know. Too funny. That's about Ray's outfit there. All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We were really excited to share what we learned and were inspired about. And that is just a small slice of convention. So if you have access, you have 10 more days, or what is today? Today is the 22nd. You have 8 more days, and watch something, watch some more. Look at all the Terra Talks. There's stage 1, stage 2. You don't want to miss anything. But yes, and also just another plug, I'm always going to plug it. Come to convention next year. I know the early bird tickets the period war is done for now, but stay tuned. They will bring something back soon on purchasing tickets. So even if it's just a little seed of an idea of coming, make it happen. It's worth it. You can see our energy is like this, and we just saw it virtually. We weren't even there. So imagine if we were there, we'd be a little crazy. But yes, thank you all for joining us. And again, think about who needs to hear this information, share it with them. And thank you for showing up for yourself, your business, and our community. We love you. Oh, we got to take a picture. Yeah, take a picture. Okay. All right. I'm not that good at this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, everybody smile and turn your cameras on, please. Yay, good. Good to see you, Beth. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yay! Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time. Bye.